That's at a camp for displaced civilians being moved out of Rafah as Israel readies an operation targeting militants in that area of Gaza considered Hamas's last stronghold.
Now, Israel says that residents will get moved to a humanitarian zone called Muwasi. Now, this has been an area that has expanded humanitarian aid, including field hospitals, food, medicine, and water. Israel today explains that this is a limited scope operation, which will affect about 100,000 people, but not the entirety of Rafah. Still, there is already backlash, with one Hamas official saying that there will be serious consequences.
Fox's Alex Hogan amid all the worry about Iran backing militant groups that have attacked Israel, American troops, and ships in and around the Red Sea. The head of the UN's atomic watchdog will visit Iran today. Rafael Grossi has said it's getting tougher to monitor Iran's nuclear program, and he's already warned Iran has enough enriched uranium to make nuclear weapons if it wants to. Russia is planning to test nukes as it keeps waging war in Ukraine.
It'll involve the deployment of tactical nuclear weapons, those with localized effects rather than long-range nuclear missiles. Russia's defense ministry says the exercise is in response to provocative statements and threats by certain Western officials.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Former President Trump will soon return to court for week 3 of his first criminal trial.
This is prosecutors are gearing up for Michael Cohen, trying to show that the former president hid his alleged affairs to protect his campaign. The defense says, though not true, it was to protect his family.
Fox's Eric Shawn. Outside the New York court, the former president's charged with falsifying records, paying back Cohen, his ex-lawyer, for payments to Stormy Daniels before the 2016 presidential election. He calls it political persecution. A lot of flooding around the Houston, Texas area still. A 5-year-old boy was killed in a car swept away. America's listening to Fox News.
Think identity theft won't happen to you? Think again. There's a new victim every 3 seconds in the U.S., over 15 million this year alone, and many don't even know they're victims. LifeLock alerts you to identity threats you could miss even when you monitor your credit. If your identity's stolen, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft, but everyone can save up to 25% their first year with my name Clay as the promo code at LifeLock.com.
The elites want more control through digital currencies in a cashless society. This is Stephen K. Bannon, and I believe gold is the answer to safeguard your wealth, especially if you own your gold inside of a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting SHELTER to 989898. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust, so text SHELTER to the number 989898 to claim your free info kit today.
Message and data rates may apply.
A federal trial starts today challenging North Carolina's voter ID law. The NAACP alleges it violates the Voting Rights Act,
which bans voting rules enacted based on race. Their argument is that it's harder for minorities to get a photo ID. The state Supreme Court already blocked the law in a separate lawsuit, but when that high court flipped to majority Republican, the ruling was reversed. Most states do require some form of ID to vote, including many that require photo ID. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
They hope in Baltimore that by the end of this week, crews can remove the cargo ship that crashed into a bridge in March, collapsing it, killing 6 workers, and halting shipping in the port.
At an estimated cost between $1.7 and $1.9 billion, the Maryland Department of Transportation says the state plans to rebuild Baltimore's Key Bridge in just over 4 years. Congress continues to work on a plan to fund the reconstruction. The broker for the bridge's insurance policy confirmed last week that the state of Maryland will receive a $350 million payout.
That's Fox's Ryan Schmelz. The price at the pump's going down for the first time this year. In analyst Tribbley Lundberg's survey, down 2 cents the past 2 weeks. She says oil prices will dictate the future.
If they stay more or less where they are, we could have a comparatively low price season this summer, but it doesn't seem likely.
Her survey puts regular gas at $3.75 per gallon. AAA's national average is a dime less than that. On Wall Street, futures are rising, so stocks could add to last week's gains for the Dow and the NASDAQ. Round 2 set in both the hockey and basketball playoffs.
And that'll do it. Donovan Mitchell in a ferocious Cavs defense. They win Game 7.
The final call on ESPN. Mitchell scored 39 points to lead Cleveland past Orlando 106-94, eliminating the Magic. On the ice, Dallas beat Vegas 2-1 in a Game 7. The Stars knock out the defending NHL Stanley Cup champion Golden Knights. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Well, 217 Incorporated in Champaign reminding everyone to regularly check on their outdoor HVAC equipment. This after they say many people and business owners have had copper lines cut and stolen on South Neal Street in Champaign. The heating, air conditioning, and plumbing company wants everyone to keep their equipment safe. If a walk in the park catapults you into bouts of sneezing, eye rubbing, and coughing, you're not alone. Allergy season, which came early this year, in full swing with most of the nation forecast to have medium to high pollen levels as we went through the weekend. According to IQVIA, it's the healthcare analytics and research company that runs pollen.com. A group of fallen police officers in Illinois being remembered. Illinois Police Memorial took place over the weekend outside the state capitol to honor officers who died on the line of duty and support their families. There were a pair of 2024 honorees, including Chicago police officers Andres Vasquez and Irina Michaela Preston. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Well, here we are, May 6th. Good morning. Monday. I'm
Yes.
Stevie J. There's Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
It is first full week of May. Meteorologist Greg Solio always joins us at this hour.
Yeah.
And our half an inch of rain total is what one of the farmers said, I think. I don't know what we got around here.
Yeah, about a quarter on the lower side and about 3/4. I think they had 83/100ths of an inch over at Willard. So, and not everyone saw it, but some folks maybe set back a day or two in the fieldwork sense. But we have better news to report here. It's we're about 7 days out, but we'll get there.
All right, good. It's our weather brought to you by Carl.
Carl reminds you, May 6th is National Nurses Day. If you're any healthcare facility and there's a nurse taking care of you, pat them on the back and say thank you, as does Carl with their hardworking nurses. Learn more at carl.org.
All right, Mr. Meteorologist, what are we seeing this week here, my friend?
Well, almost each and every day, some mention of rainfall, and probably the most significant first on a northbound warm front tomorrow morning, and then in a cold front late tomorrow night, and we'll get into another one of these upper air circulations, much like we have poised in the western reaches of the Tennessee Valley this morning. The northern extents brought a little dribble of rain in a few spots this morning, but with that thunderstorm activity will come, and instead a healthy south wind for a while between Tuesday afternoon and into part of Wednesday. So temperatures will take off fairly nicely. Then we'll auger down some cooler airs, lose a few degrees on soil temperatures, but beginning over the weekend and more so next week, we finally see the warmer, drier ridge. It's going to materialize in the western states. Probably takes the mid-stretch of May to finally build our way, but in that transition, we'll move into a drier weather pattern beginning over the weekend and almost all of next week and probably beyond from there. So some better weather news ahead with the spring field work in mind on a more at least broad-based opportunity and window of opportunity across our part of the Corn Belt. 57 now at Willard and Savoy, 53 at Rantoul, to 49 up at the Kankakee, to 63 at St. Louis, from St. Louis to about Bloomington, here to Champaign. A few spits and sprinkles of rain, maybe a stray shower around this morning, and an otherwise partly sunny day today. Maybe another stray shower pops up this afternoon. 75, pretty much close to the normal for the time of year. Light east to southeasterly wind down to 64 tonight. Breezy warmer for the day tomorrow. A couple of thunderstorms in spots for the morning. Back in late in the day, the highs approaching 80 on a healthy south wind. A stray shower thunderstorm early tomorrow night, then clearing off 56, and we'll cloud things up again, generate a couple of late morning and afternoon showers both Wednesday and Thursday. 78 on Wednesday, but we cool to 68 Thursday. 60 is for highs Friday and into the weekend. Maybe another stray shower chance on Saturday, then back into a slowly warmer and then drier weather pattern that takes hold for next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
Well, potential Republican running mates will be on hand as Donald Trump headlines a major gathering of top GOP donors, Palm Beach, Florida. Political analyst, host of the Truth Will Set You Free podcast, our friend Anthony Russo. Anthony, is there a name there that would surprise us?
The surprise to me is how well Doug Burgum is doing as a potential VP candidate. Doug Burgum's definitely put himself, probably in my book, in the top three. Marco Rubio, I love that Marco and Trump have buried the hatchet from 2016, and Marco's going pretty strong, and I think he sees a bigger political future by attaching himself a little bit to Donald Trump. So those are the two kind of surprises, I would say. Elise Stefanik's doing really well, and of course, I think everybody knows at this point that Kristi Noem has found her way out of the top three to potentially out of the VP race.
Okay, so no Ben Carson, huh?
Ben Carson I had heard things about Ben Carson 4 or 5 months ago being the potential sleeper guy. No pun intended for sleepy and then whatever. But when it comes to Ben, he hasn't had any true vocal noise being made. So I don't know where he's at. I don't think he's out because he is always just such a great candidate, great human, somebody that could balance a little bit of the messaging against Donald Trump. But I have not heard anybody talk about him for a while. The same as what I would say about Vivek. Vivek has been kind of disappeared into the darkness on this one.
You think I've heard this? Do you think Vivek is maybe Ramaswamy? He may be too animated, too much of a showstopper, stealer kind of thing?
For the VP candidate, potentially. But I think that from somebody campaigning on the road, I mean, I think that he does nothing but help Trump. And what I'm definitely looking at right now is this is perfect for Trump to have a bunch of really talented VP candidates that are kind of vying for his attention on the road while he can't campaign, while he is stuck in the courtroom. This tryout process is like the ultimate network marketing. This is allowing him to have a voice without ever actually needing to use his voice, which actually will help his campaign in the long run because it keeps him from sticking his foot anywhere near his mouth, and it just gets him out just in the amount of time that he needs. So I think this is an accidental great strategy from Trump. But again, a lot of it is just a bunch of people that are talking about the positives of a country underneath Donald Trump.
Tim Scott?
Tim Scott's on my list. I've got him in the 5 position, 4 or 5 position. Yeah,
And,
I mean, you could shift to however you want.
Tulsi Gabbard.
So Tulsi, that was a conversation I just got done having. Tulsi is not really. She's not following the Trump wagon. I guess she's not following the press tour of Trump, which I think is actually a good thing. She's somebody that can go from who is positioned on my page as number 6, can go right up to the top immediately with a couple big news stories. I mean, I think the fact that she probably did move up with what's going on with Kristi Noem, because just to make sure you've got the females in there with Elise Stefanik and Tulsi, and she really does have I would say a stranglehold on a lot of that moderate left-leaning Joe Biden hating crowd. So I think that she actually has she's somebody that can move the needle, and she's showing that she's doing it on her own and not necessarily following the same press tour as everybody else.
Okay, when do you think this would happen?
July. Right as we get closer to the Republican National Convention, I think that Trump's I rarely agree with anything coming out of the mouth of Adam Kinzinger, but the way he said it, I don't like, obviously. But he's saying this is perfect for Trump. You've got a couple months of solid candidates. He didn't say solid candidates, but I'll say solid candidates that are going on the road, essentially pitching their case on not only why they should be VP, but why Trump should be president. So he's not going to pull any early decisions, and if he does, it'd be a surprise, because right now everybody vying for his attention does nothing but help his campaign.
Anthony Russo, how can people find you?
Truth Will Set You Free USA on all the social media platforms, and I do free speaking classes on Wednesday night for all of people like us at DoubleDownSpeaking.com.
All right, my friend. Thank you, Anthony Russo, the Truth Will Set You Free podcast. All right, 7:14, check your sports headlines.
St. Louis Cardinals lose to the Chicago White Sox 5-1. Let's get your Redbird recap.
The Cardinals dropped the final game of the series against the White Sox yesterday, so the White Sox won just their second series of the year. The Cardinals dropped it 5-1. They were out hit 9-4. The Cardinals still could not find their offense yesterday. Matthew Liberatore started for the Cardinals, and really a bullpen game for St. Louis. Liberatore was able to go 3 2/3 innings, and he struck out 5. He gave up just 1 run, and the Cardinals were able to get back in the game. Home run by Wilson Contreras, but unfortunately a rough outing for Giovanni Gallegos. He picked up the loss. He gave up 3 runs, did not retire any of the batters he faced, and Gio drops to 2-1. Crochet was the winner, 2-4. The left-hander was very tough on the White Sox side in a game that was played in 2 hours and 28 minutes. The Cardinals take on the New York Mets, first of 3 today. It'll be Kyle Gibson going for the Redbirds. Sean Manaea will go for New York. And we hope you'll join us today as the Cardinals hope to win a series here at Busch. This is Ricky Horton with your Redbird recap.
The Cardinals Hall of Fame and Museum is the official home of Cardinals history. For those who want to be a part of one of the sport's greatest collections in the world, museum membership is the way to go. Cardinals Museum membership provides unlimited admission for 1 year, exclusive Hall of Fame bobbleheads, discounts, ticket offers, and more, in addition to supporting exhibit design and artifact restoration. There are a variety of membership levels, including our ultimate level of membership. For more info and to join, go to cardinals.com/membership.
So the Cubs blanked Milwaukee's Brewers 5-0.
I think they're tied.
Right.
I think they're in first place. Dansby Swanson capped everything off.
Deep drive to left center off the bat of Swanson. It's got a chance. Gone. Dansby Swanson with a line drive home run to left center. And the Cubs now lead 4-0.
And they are tied with Milwaukee atop the Central, tied for first.
Let's do it.
Everything heard on the Chicago Cubs radio network on US 105.9.
I love it. And we've got a game against San Diego from Wrigley at 6:40 over on US 105.9. We had winners yesterday, Illinois over Ohio State. They took the series 2-1. It was flipped in Iowa for the softball team. Iowa on top 6-5 to take that series 2-1. Iowa hosting the Big Ten tournament, which begins for Illinois as, I believe, a number 12 seed against Minnesota. So that will happen beginning on Thursday, whereas our Illini baseball team will wrap up their regular season against Iowa this weekend at home. So
anybody looking at the standings? Anybody take a peek there at the Illinois standings of the Big Ten lately? Illinois is in first.
Excellent.
13-5. Nebraska 12-6. Purdue 12-6. Indiana 12-6.
Okay.
And on we go. So doesn't it mean we host if we win? I thought we haven't done that.
That's right.
So I'm wondering if we would get to host. We haven't done it in a number of years anyway.
Okay.
So anyway, let's close out strong. But Dan Hartlib's team is 18-2 at home.
Okay, then.
Man.
Fighting Illini Jr. Jackson Buchanan was recognized earlier this week as a unanimous selection of the Big Ten All-Conference First Team and now Big Ten Golfer of the Year. So congratulations to him. We also had the Kentucky Derby.
That was amazing. I never see it.
I know. That's why I was like, did you see that?
That was by a nose.
3 nose to the wire. Unbelievable. And it took him a little while to declare Mystic Dan as the winner over Sierra Leone and Forever Young.
You bet $2 on Mystic Dan, you got $39 back.
Hey,
yeah,
that's something.
Yeah, you bet 100, it'd been $3,900.
I was wrapping up the wine walk with Champaign Center Partnership downtown. A bunch of us had gathered around and watched that, the best 2 minutes in sports. And that actually extended into 10 or 15 while they tried to declare the winner at the Kentucky Derby.
Well, it was quite the race. They haven't had very many by a nose. Usually it's kind of a runaway.
I think they said 1947 was the last
really
time.
A while since the Kentucky Derby went down to the wire.
Right.
And again, Mystic Dan, if you bet on it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, our weather this morning brought to you by the Urbana Park District.
So many great programs to tap into as you prepare for awesome summer camps and various experiences. Lots of stuff for the teenagers to do too. Learn more at urbanaparks.org.
We have a Stever I'll tell you about, and Columbia students have come out with a statement that you'll want to hear. Stand by.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign-Urbana vicinity, and the seasonally showery weather pattern continues on for this week. A pattern shift begins over the weekend and into next week with cooler, drier, and several days worth of drier weather expected into next week to progress outdoor work and field work here for our ag friends. Maybe a few sprinkles around this morning and a stray shower this afternoon up to 75 and a partly sunny sky. Slim chance for a shower early and late night tonight too, low down to 60. Better odds for showers and thunderstorms both tomorrow morning and again towards evening time. Highs of about 79 and a gusty southeast to south wind. Wednesday partly sunny, upper 70s and a shower thunderstorm chance both morning, more so for the afternoon. Then Thursday and into the weekend. Cooler on Thursday, 68 with a shower chance early and late, 66 on Friday, upper 60s and a few raindrops for the day on Saturday early and late. Back up to near 70 on Sunday. Much of next week is drier for outdoor work and field work. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
You've set your financial goals. One kid plans to go Big Ten, the other Ivy. Your bucket list includes seaside sunrises and sunsets on the slopes, or perhaps a second home away from it all. Busey Bank can help develop the right investment strategy to take charge of the years ahead. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Liz Clayman, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stock futures are in positive territory as Wall Street looks to add to Friday's gains. Steep cuts at tech companies may be slowing for information tech workers, according to trade group CompTIA. The unemployment rate for U.S. information technology workers ticked down to 2.8% in April from 3% in March, a sign that some companies may be hiring to support their artificial intelligence-related projects. Tech companies like Microsoft and Salesforce added about 4,280 workers in April, according to CompTIA's analysis. That growth was led by hiring for tech services and software development positions, followed by cloud infrastructure, data processing, and data hosting jobs. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lillian Wu, invested in you.
Interesting people are talking to Will Kane.
I said, what do I call you? I call you Dwayne. I call you The Rock. He said, now that I own it, I can call you The Rock.
Yes, I own it now. You can call me The Rock.
Our next guest needs no introduction. It is Dr. Jordan Peterson, my old friend and frenemy, Stephen A. Smith.
What is going on here? I see the Will Kane Show in the background. I see the microphone.
Watch it live at noon Eastern, Monday through Thursday on FoxNews.com. And get the podcast 5 days a week at FoxNewsPodcasts.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Did you know the Anita Purvis Nature Center is a home for live animals? Stop by the Nature Center. View the turtles, owls, snakes, and salamanders. These were orphaned or injured animals who wouldn't be able to survive in the wild, but they help educate the public at the Nature Center. Sponsor an educational animal for as little as $15 a month. And make sure that animal has good food, housing, and medical care. For details, visit urbanaparks.org.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. It's time to come home to Carpet Weavers. We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them. From waterproof floors and carpet to furnitures and design advice, we've got a team of experts on your side. We'll get you the best price and the best quality products. And complete your home with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing too. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Oh, the camera on camera 3 isn't very good. Brother Johnny has showed here.
Wow, Steve, it's great up here. It's green, but we need a little bit of break from the rain, I guess.
Right,
Got a little rain here. Well, welcome from New Orleans. Going to be in town for a week or so.
Mother's Day.
Yep. Mother's Day coming up Sunday. Unbelievable.
Yeah, no kidding.
5th month of the year 2024. All right, so I have a story this morning from Columbia University, and I wanted to share. Apparently, Columbia law students are demanding that the school cancel finals and then pass all the students because they're traumatized by the police violence.
Well, hey, it's worth, Steve, it's worth a shot.
Sounds a little like a party right there.
Yeah, you got to give them credit. It's worth a shot because a lot of them probably wouldn't pass.
The sensitive and shaken students say they're so upset by police in riot gear that they can't take it.
Yeah.
The violence we witnessed last night, this is a couple days ago, has irreparably shaken many of the, on the review, the editors of the Columbia Law Review said, We know this to be the same for a majority of our classmates.
It's left the students highly emotional.
Okay. Well, I'd give them a sabbatical. I wouldn't pass them, but I'd let them come back in a year when they get over it.
I mean, this is police. They're blaming police violence on that.
I don't know what they saw or what.
Well,
the
they
police
were in
did.
riot gear, scary, and they grabbed that one guy. I don't know. I mean, what God forbid if we really needed young people to go and join our military, would we have any?
I think
would
there's
we
a
have
lot. There's a lot. You don't see those people on our news much, but there are many wonderful American.
They're not
young
part of this. Isn't part of them.
Well,
these people are not joining anything to help America.
Well, and what percentage of Columbia is that? I'm sure it's a very liberal college, but there's plenty of good folks up there probably studying for finals if they can find a quiet place to go.
Well, I mean, this goes back to needing a safe space because Donald Trump won in 2016.
Right.
You have to have a safe space. I mean, it's remarkable.
Well, the issue there is that you would buy into something so ridiculous. And the problem is we've given into that kind of craziness so many times, and they may do it, Steve. They may just say, yeah, the poor kids, we got to pass them all. They didn't learn anything. They don't deserve to be passed, but they just are passed. And then who you got?
I asked this question last week. The guys that came off the boat at Ellis Island, they didn't know how they're feeding their family that night. What would they think of us now? That's 100 years ago.
I don't know. I do know that they'd
probably say what?
Probably
they had
pathetic.
ideas on. Hey, here's the thing. They had ideas on how they were going to feed their family and what they would have to do. And as soon as they got through the entry process, they went right after it and got it done. Because that's why we're still here. They all figured it out once they had the freedom to do so, and they didn't expect anyone to hand anything over to them.
And they worked morning till night.
Yeah, whatever it took.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But have we lost that oomph?
We have not lost that oomph.
Have we gotten too soft?
In many respects, I think our leader has skewed your perspective, though. Our leadership is way ahead of us in terms of depravity and deterioration. We're not with them, and we just have to pull it back and somehow change our leadership.
Well, back when you were talking about this 35 years ago, had we implemented term limits, it'd be different.
And that's key because anybody, including me, Steve, if I was in Washington for 40 years, I would not be the same guy.
Right.
And it's because people are worshiping you, and you have a lot of power, and then you have to wield it correctly, even when you're trying to.
And you
then
have
you
a
have
lot
to
of
make
yes people
compromises
around you.
and then this happens, and you got to try to. Oh, I don't want anyone to know that. Okay, I'll do this for you. And it just goes on and on. And so, and it was never meant to be like that. That you do create a political elite, a whole class of people who have a lot of power, who we know, and who may want to do what's best for us, but we don't need them to be that for our whole life. We can switch them in and out.
They know that feeling, but yet they go against it. I mean, we were upset in 2016, which brought us Trump. We're tired. We're so tired of both sides. We wanted a guy that was different, and so yet it seems to be pushing toward the side of you do need me. Let me tell you how to do this.
Well, the problem. So here it's self-propagating. If one group who really does some things you disagree with that you think could harm us, wants to stay in, you have to stay in or you'll be the junior member and can't do anything.
Yeah.
So you're like, I'll leave, but we have to get rid of these people first.
Right.
So you're all caught, and we're watching this train wreck.
Yes.
And we pay more and more and more. And the government seems to just slowly and continually grow, and a big central government isn't what we want. We're doing pretty well here in Philo. Other than we have to deal with the big central government's rules, we don't really need that much. And so it's
so maybe all politics should be more local.
Yes.
Maybe, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. We're upside down.
Yeah. All right, 7:29. I'm going to call daughter Grace. Gracie's up. We're going to talk a little about her book, but also how, I kind of facetiously started saying we shouldn't use cell phones when you're teenagers. Now I think it's a crisis. what's happening with these smartphones.
Yeah.
It is not anything we need to.
Too much screen time all around.
Way too much. That's coming up next.
Well, the teenager too, Steve. Let's just get to 10, 11, and 12's kind of off.
Well, they're on there too.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to tell you, we do have a Stever. It's Long Branch Steakhouse in Gifford. And it's up and available now. If you go to GoStever.com, you can get $50 to go eat steak. I'm looking for people that haven't won this today.
Right.
We love you, but we don't want you to get it all the time.
Right.
So we're looking for a new person that's never been to Long Branch, had one of those fillets or ribeyes. Ooh, they're good.
310 South Main Street in downtown Gifford, and they're open Wednesday through Saturday, 5 to 9.
5 to 9. So go to GoStever.com, click accept. You get an email tonight if you're one of our winners. I'll do 4 of these today, 4 $50 bills. So GoStever.com for the Long Branch Steakhouse. Yum. Go get it. Go try it. You'll love it. And we'll be right back. My daughter Grace next, ESPN 93.5. It is Monday. This is May 6th, and it's 7:30 time for the latest from Fox News.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. Former President Trump's criminal hush money trial in New York resumes at 9:30 Eastern. Jurors have heard from 9 witnesses so far.
It will be a new week and a new witness this morning after that emotional testimony from Hope Hicks on Friday. Miss Hicks, who was one of the former president's closest advisors, broke down in tears, testifying against her boss, who sat a few feet away.
Fox's Eric Shawn. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin's told by his Israeli counterpart there is no choice left but to go in and fight Hamas terrorists in Rafah in Gaza. 100,000 Palestinians were ordered to leave the eastern part of that city.
Israel says its army has expanded assistance into the area that does include field hospitals, tents, food, and water. The IDF says it's using flyers, maps, and text messages as well as phone calls to instruct Gazans on where to go.
Fox's Ashley Strohmeyer. There are reports of explosions from Israeli airstrikes in Rafah today. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Well, Rivian is receiving more than $800 million incentive package from the state to help expand its Normal facility. Electric vehicle manufacturer investing $1.5 billion for the project, which will create more than 550 full-time jobs in the next 5 years. It will enable the company to produce its highly anticipated R2 model at its Normal plant. Illinois legislature is signing off on a comprehensive election bill that would give Democrats a significant advantage towards keeping their legislative majorities before the November general election. Under a measure approved by the Senate, Democrats, local political party organizations will no longer appoint candidates to fill out legislative ballots where the party didn't field a primary candidate. A group of fallen police officers in Illinois remembered. Illinois police officers' memorial took place Friday outside the state capitol, honoring 2 officers who died on the line of duty. There were a pair of honorees, including Chicago police officers Andres Velasquez Lasso and Ariana Michaela Preston. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Joe Miller.
Weather with Greg, brought to you by Kramer Siding and Window.
Home improvement projects this spring. Kramer Siding and Window have a lot of options for you. Get a new door, maybe do something new with the siding or windows. KramerSiding.com.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign-Urbana this Saturday, and the seasonally showery weather pattern continues on for this week. A pattern shift begins over the weekend and into next week with cooler, drier, and several days worth of drier weather expected into next week to progress outdoor work and field work here for our ag friends. Maybe a few sprinkles around this morning and a stray shower this afternoon up to 75 and a partly sunny sky. Some chance for a shower early and late night tonight too, low down to 60. Better odds for showers, thunderstorms both tomorrow morning and again towards evening time. Highs of about 79 and a gusty southeast to south wind. Wednesday partly sunny, upper 70s and a shower thunderstorm chance both morning, more so for the afternoon. Then Thursday and into the weekend. Cooler on Thursday, 68 with a shower chance early and late, 66 on Friday, upper 60s and a few raindrops for the day on Saturday early and late. Back up to near 70 on Sunday. Much of next week is drier for outdoor work and field work. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
All right, ESPN 93.5. It is 7:34 in Champaign-Urbana. Glad you're listening, May 6th.
Yeah, and actually a salute to nurses throughout the week. My friend Heather texted in. We both have daughters that are healthcare professionals and nurses. So thank you, nurses, for all you do.
If you would like to text in on the Fisher National Bank text line, it's 217-359-2255. GoStever.com for the free $50 certificate to eat at Long Branch Steakhouse to allow you to try it. You have 7 days to go eat. I give you a little longer. They're open Wednesday through Saturday, so I give you 2 weekends to go eat. in Gifford, Illinois, and then you have a survey you must fill out, or I got to let you go. Part of the club here at Stever, you can join and enter as well at gostever.com. Well, author, speaker, podcast, host, Miss Illinois 2018, and the Miss America organization was in Miss America 2019 in Atlantic City on ABC television. Grace was Miss Illinois 2018, competed in the Miss America competition live on ABC again at the Boardwalk. That's where Burt Park sang all those years.
Yes, where it all started.
She's also been quite the advocate for mental health awareness. That was her platform. And she's written a book called It's Okay, Finding Peace in Unexpected Places. My daughter Grace, she and my wife Janet are in Charleston, South Carolina.
Nice.
And I got brother Johnny here too. Gracie, how are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Hi, Grace.
Hi,
Great to hear your
Grace.
voice. Yes.
I'm so glad to be here, even though from a distance.
Yes, and you guys are enjoying Charleston, South Carolina, because it's an
Oh my
amazing,
gosh.
amazing town.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
It is it's absolutely beautiful, but it is just packed with so much history. So it's been neat to explore this part of the country. I feel like I haven't been along the southeast much, so it's been really cool to see.
Fort Sumter is where the first shots for Civil War.
yeah.
Yeah. And they had the last slave sold in America was in Charleston, South Carolina.
Okay.
It's just you go to that the museum. It's just heartbreaking. See, it's just unbelievable. All right, glad you're here. There's a major psychological group says that infinite scrolling, other social media features, are particularly risky to youth mental health. What is your take? And I've been kind of an advocate against smartphones and the impact they're having, the amount of screen time and all of that.
Yeah, there's no question that there will be long-term effects to people being addicted to their screens. It's already something without social media. I think it's easy to do, but especially with social media and the aspect of being able to scroll indefinitely, there are going to be long-term effects to people's communication skills, to self-esteem, because when you're sitting on your phone like that, not only are you isolated, but it is literally a platform for direct comparison to yourself and your own life to other people's highlights. And people don't always realize that when they're scrolling. They can be looking at, TikTok, which is a bunch of videos, or Instagram, which is reels or pictures. Regardless of which one you're on, it is truly a platform for comparison, but also it is just addicting. I mean, it's just pure entertainment. And there are studies shown that, especially Gen Z, they are just out to find purpose and meaning and to associate themselves with something that is bigger than themselves, so they have an emotional connection to something, and they're looking for it in all the wrong places, social media being one of them. And because of that, they're going to keep scrolling until they find that emotional connection. But if we're looking for the emotional connection through social media and we find it satisfied through that, why would we look anywhere else? So it'll have a long-term effect, I believe, on how we view the world around us in terms of community, and we'll become more and more reliant on our screens to satisfy every piece of our emotional needs. So I think it's sad. I think it's dangerous. I think it's concerning. But I think the number one thing is we have to go back to around the kitchen table. Like, we have to restore what a family looks like, how a family communicates, and a parent's involvement in screen time. And social media apps can make all these changes and redesigns, and of course I think that would be beneficial, but I think it comes down to a parent communicating with their child, checking in on them, and that's also something that we don't need to wait around to do. It's something we can do today. And having that conversation and enough entertainment and a feeling like kids are engaged and emotionally connected enough where they don't need it from their screens. And I think that starts in the household. I have a part of my book talks about if you're so captivated by purpose, you won't be distracted by discontentment. And I think we're looking for that purpose. And we have to, as families, make sure that we're not trying to search for that in the wrong place.
You said the word addiction. Boy, you even get 10. Johnny was saying 10, 11, 12-year-olds are all over it. I don't know if we can just have the conversation. If we're kind of addicted, and it's a big word to be using for this, but frankly, I believe we all are, to a certain level, and the uncomfortableness we have if we don't have our phones. I don't know how you turn it back, put the genie back in. I really don't. I think you go tell a 15-year-old their phone's gone. It's going to be bad.
I know. I prayed that there'd be like a revolution of phones somehow, where all of a sudden it's normal for us to not get phones until we're like, or at least smartphones, until we're like 16, 17, 18, where we are a little bit more established in who we are before we're turning there to look at everyone else first, because it really is like, oh, look at all she's done, look at all they've done, look at all they've accomplished, look at all their relationship. Like, it really just sets these standards for society that are unrealistic. You can paint whatever picture you want through social media. And a lot, also in my book, It's Okay Finding Peace in Unexpected Places, I talk a lot about being an access point to authenticity, being the one person that isn't afraid to be vulnerable, because vulnerability invites vulnerability. But I will say, I don't think it would be a bad thing if we got rid of the apps like Facetune or the apps that give you the ability to make these crazy edits, which of course is completely unrealistic. Why would they get rid of it when it's used so much? But think of all that's doing to people's mental health, especially when it comes to comparison, when you have the ability to literally change the shape of your face, to change the shape of your body. And you can do that for every single social media post.
What's it? Like, I never heard of that. Is it Facetune? Never heard of it.
Facetune. Yeah, you can change your shape. You can change how you look. But then when you're in person, how is that going to change your self-esteem when you know that you've already changed how you look on social media, and then you go in person and it might look a little different? So I think it's just so dangerous what it's doing to our own self-esteem when we have the ability to literally create whoever we want ourselves to be through a screen versus in person.
Well, and actually others can create who they want us to be. The problem is when you're teaching anyone anything, you say, pay attention. I got to tell you that. So they're paying attention to this phone, and everybody knows it. And meanwhile, they're not going to pay attention to something else. So you're not going to be able to teach your child what you would like them to learn about life, because they're learning it from what TikTok maybe. Who knows?
Well, if they ban TikTok, there's going to be something else.
Well, I think what you do, Steve, and you do, and at least to 15, you just take the phone away. You give them a phone that they're able to text or call their mom or dad. How about that?
Yeah, I mean,
they don't need anything
but
else.
if they've had it since they're 11, you can't take it.
Well, yeah, you can. Actually, you can.
You really can.
We won't do it. It won't happen.
It won't happen because
but you can. And you know what? There would be a big tantrum, and that would be the end of it.
But you can't give it to them a 10.
They would go outside and start playing again.
Don't give it to them a 10 is my point. You don't give it to them early.
But you could start that.
Don't do it.
But that's the problem, and Grace, you're right. It's a problem.
And it is mental health, isn't it, Grace?
Oh yeah. Yes. I mean, there's this research that shows like this is kind of the base of all anxiety and depression and all these issues that we're going to see more and more of as we have. And if you think about it, like, these kids are being handed iPads from a very young age because it gets hard. Like, it gets hard to entertain your 2-year-old at the out to dinner when you don't feel like you have any more energy to entertain them or keep them quiet. So you give them an iPad. But that's where it starts, too. Like, the first resort to comfort is a screen. So it starts early and it stays. So I absolutely think that the long-term effects, our screens will always be our security blanket. It's no longer like a teddy bear. It's a screen, and it's become our complete comfort. So, yeah, and the thing is, those that are in the depths of struggling with something regarding mental health, they're going to turn to their screens because that's what they've always known as comfort, and it's not going to help them.
Yeah, no, it's a tough issue that's growing. There's no doubt. This whole banning TikTok thing, there'll be something else if they even do that, because if they don't divest, they got to get rid of it, unless they sell it to somebody else outside of China. So it is an ongoing thing.
And what if we have a situation where we don't have our screens and we have internet problems? How are we going to survive?
Number one, freak out.
Yeah.
Number one, absolutely freak out.
There's another problem with all our tech is our collegiates, the ones that want to pass without exam. Yeah. In any case, they're starting to be taught how to find the answer online.
Yeah.
Not how to fundamentally determine something based on where the theory came from. You just look it up. Here's how you do it. Here's how you navigate it. Somebody turns all that off, and we're going to be back in the dark.
That's right.
Well, and Grace, there's so much of this protesting where they're trying to find purpose, and maybe this is their purpose. They're really looking.
Everybody wants a purpose.
And Grace, you speak about it in your book. It's okay finding peace in unexpected places. It's at Amazon and everywhere else. You talk about your faith a lot in there.
Yeah, I mean, we all are out to find something that gives us meaning, gives our lives, or like a reason to wake up every day. Put your feet on the floor, wake up, and go out and do something. And I think everyone is looking for that. I mean, I've done a lot of research regarding social media and the association that Gen Z is kind of looking for meaning and something to associate themselves with in that. But really what we're looking for is faith, and we just have it all muddled and all these other voices in the world that are trying to convince us that they're the thing that is going to make them feel like they matter and that they have a reason to wake up every day. And we have all these competing voices, and we always will. That's not a matter of age. That's not a matter of distractions that we have, because we're always going to have that. But there is one that tends to be the quieter voice that will always wake up and call your name and invite you in, and that's Jesus. And that's the one thing that won't change, and that's the one thing that will carry all of the purpose and meaning that you're looking for. But we have become so distracted by all the other offerings that we get it so mixed up, and that's sometimes the last resort. We have to have our knees on rock bottom before we'll ever look in that direction most times. So, but if we have a family culture that at least is going through the routine of going to church, of maybe these kids out of the corner of their eyes are seeing their parents and their Bibles, maybe it's planting a seed out of season that someday the kids will come back to it and realize that when their knees are on rock bottom, they saw their parents reading their Bible that one morning when they were struggling, or they saw their parents going to church. Like, if we can just practice following Jesus and what that looks like in a household, maybe someday your child will remember that, even if it's out of season and feel like they don't notice it at all. Maybe someday that'll be the saving grace of what brings them back to what truly matters.
Gracie, how can people find your podcast?
Yes, it's on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, pretty much anywhere podcasts are found. It's called Confetti Cannon of Grace and Truth, where we talk about all this type of stuff. Like, it's my way of having a book that's between two covers in a way that's able to evolve and have conversations about topics that are happening right now. The most recent podcast was just published this past week, and it's Living Fully After Loss, with a widower who lost his wife to cancer with 3 little ones, and how he's turned his life around for Jesus and learned to live fully even after such a tremendous loss. So it's been such a joy to be able to do and getting to talk to so many cool people, and there are a pretty cool lineup ahead of people who have stories, but mental health and social media is, of course, a huge topic in this as well.
What's the typical length of your podcast, Grace, on Confetti Cannon?
Yeah, so right now it's about 40 minutes. I think as time goes on, I'll try to shorten it a little bit, but these last 2 conversations were so dense, I had to let them happen. But typically about 40 minutes. So it's really good if you like brushing your teeth and listening to something, listen to it in 5-minute increments or driving, and you can just listen to it as you go.
Wait, so it's Confetti Cannon, what?
Just Grace and Truth.
Confetti Cannon of Grace and Truth.
Confetti Cannon of Grace and Truth.
I like
Confetti Cannon means all kinds of topics.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Gracie, thank God you took after your mother. You're so good. So good. Appreciate you being on. It's okay finding peace in unexpected places at Amazon and elsewhere. You're speaking. You're doing public speaking more and more. And I'm glad you are, because anybody around Grace feels better. So it's awesome to have you on this morning. Have fun. Have fun. Be careful.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. So good to talk to you.
Love you, Grace.
Love you, honey.
Love you, too.
Talk to you soon. My daughter, Grace Cacciaturian, ESPN 93.5.
That's my niece.
That's right.
On the Tavin's Towing phone line. I used to tell people early on in the radio that I looked like Robert Redford. And guess what? No.
People kind of expected that when they met you.
Don't look,
Right.
So then I said, I'm 5 foot, 300 pounds. And I was always taller and thinner than anybody thought.
Okay, then. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, so I'm glad we're having this conversation with someone like Grace who has such great insight. I'm okay finding peace in unexpected places. Actually, NAMI, the National Alliance for Mental Illness, is having these Mental Health Mondays, and from 4 to 5, I'll be the feature today as we walk around West Side Park.
That's good.
We're meeting in the northeast corner where you have the first responder statues, and we're just going to walk and talk for an hour.
Wait a minute. Walk and text or walk and talk?
Walk and talk and actually share our experiences with mental illness.
Count how many people have their phones out. Count them. They'll have them in their hand.
Well, and this is the first of the Mondays of the mental health Mondays. So I'll just see how it goes. It could be that it's just me and the organizer. So
that's all right. Go West Side Park today. What time?
Exactly. Between 4 and 5 on Mondays.
Just going to keep going, walking around talking.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that you should push a product, Steve, which is like an Apple Watch, and it does allow you to text or even call your parents and tracks you.
They do that now. Apple Watch has that.
Well, then that's all they need. Don't give.
That's how we did it with our young son who has autism and things like that. He had like 3 people that he could call in case he needed a ride or was in a dilemma. And he has a 3-wheel Amtrike from Ambucks, and we like to be able to locate him or him able to call if there was an accident or something like that. But I feel like it was outdated and the technology, went beyond that now.
That allows you to use the technology
That's
for
all
what you
you
really
need.
want.
Right, right.
And
That's
then,
right.
But it's really not much different than you seeing your child talk to people they don't want. You don't want them to talk to. Don't hang around that kid. He's been in trouble. So, oh, he's not that bad. No, I just don't want you talking to him. Right. Well, now how many people are you seeing and hearing from like that every day? Every minute.
Yeah.
It's
That's
tough.
a good point. If anybody listening, have you taken a stand on your cell phone and your kids? It is difficult. There's no doubt about it. 217-359-2255.
I tell you, Steve, along those lines, this is interesting, but at our Christian camps in the summer, we have several that don't work very well. The internet's not very good. And a lot of the youth leaders let them have their phones. Well, after about a day, they're done with it, and they have more fun because it doesn't work.
No, right.
But they're not that addicted that young.
Yeah.
And so,
how old are the kids?
Well, these are middle schoolers, so they're the 11 to 13.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A little earlier. I think
a little earlier has gotten a lot later the last 10 years.
Yeah,
believe me.
sure.
Those kids know, because of all the access, they know a lot more. And so, but they're still kids, and that's really what they'd like to be.
Yeah, I think no question. You can text us on the Fisher National Bank text line 217-359-2255. Sports, Cubs win, Cardinals aren't very good. Let's check weather. Brought to you by Busey. For over 150 years, Busey, member FDIC. Boy, the Cardinals.
Well, the Cardinals haven't had a down period for a long time.
You're right.
They've had a couple blips, but this is the second year in a row.
They
really
don't.
They really don't look like the old org.
It is a whole lot of issues.
All right.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather. Free Central Illinois, Champaign, Urbana vicinity. While coming off some of those scattered showers and thunderstorms and a couple of downpours in spots during late Saturday afternoon and evening time. Really quiet day's worth of weather yesterday. Weak system down across the Ohio, generating a few spits and sprinkles of rain for the day today. Northbound warm front, another dynamic feature out of the plains, will ramp up the severe weather potential the next 24 to 36 hours and generate more rainfall as well. But a summery feel expected heading to and through the middle part of the week. Up to 75 today, becoming partly sunny, an isolated sprinkle or two around this morning, and a stray shower later this afternoon. Around this evening, maybe a shower, and after midnight, slightly better odds and a low down to 60. Tomorrow, breezy, warmer, variably cloudy skies, showers, thunderstorms in the morning, and late in the day, highs nearing 80, and a gusty southeast wind will bottom out in the mid-50s tomorrow night. Partly sunny skies and a bit cooler weather with upper 70s on Wednesday. Again, a shower, thunderstorm chance both early and again later in the day. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solye.
I've got to clean out this garage. Let's see. What's the cheapest and easiest dumpster service in our area?
Here's what I found. The doggy bag.
Think she's broken. I'm not looking for takeout. Siri, try again.
The doggy bag from Bulldog Disposal in Mahomet.
Doggy bag? What's that?
If you got junk that needs to go, but you don't want the hassle of having an enormous dumpster delivered, grab a doggy bag, keep it as long as you need. They'll come take it away. For more information, just visit bulldoggybag.com.
That's bulldoggybag.com.
Hey, where are you headed?
To Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola.
What do they have there?
What don't they have there? Living room furniture, benches, chests, love seats, sectionals, tables, bedroom sets, hutches, nightstands, end tables, cabinets, mirrors, stools, clocks, lamps, pillows, rugs, desks, media consoles, patio furniture, Tempur-Pedic mattresses, and more.
So, everything.
Yeah, probably could have just said that.
Kelsey Furniture, quality for less.
So you live in the country or a rural area, but you struggle with internet, right? Well, not anymore. MF Wireless is your premier rural high-speed internet provider. Macomber Farms Wireless is a local internet provider. It started in Camargo. Their focus, providing you reliable, high-speed internet with friendly and fast customer service. Just go to MF, as in Macomber Farms, mfwireless.com. Check for coverage. mfwireless.com.
Here's another home improvement insight from Kramer Siding and Window, a proud member of Prairie Home Alliance. A new front door can instantly upgrade the look of your home and make it more energy efficient. The Kramer Siding and Window team can also install French doors to your deck or patio, welcoming the outside in, or storm doors for an extra layer of protection against the elements. The estimate is free, financing is available, and the business is local. Schedule your beautiful new door today and save 25%. Call us, click on kramersiding.com, or visit the showroom in Champaign.
Tapman's Towing, team of experienced tow professionals, is seeking others with CDLs, previous tow experience, and or strong interest in serving others. Please visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
Yeah, go stever.com for steak at Long Branch. Now, Johnny, I don't think I've ever taken you there. You need to go to Long Branch.
I have been hearing about it and wanting to go over there.
Yeah. Well, you took me to Ditka's so many times, and then you tell Mike to watch his hands Steve's eating.
Uh-huh.
The old joke, you drop your steak, where'd it go? Yeah.
Free tomato plants today.
Is that today?
It is. I'm excited to talk with Ata Durakan about how things are going at First Federal Savings Bank. So take note of the 2 locations and swing on by for your free tomato plants really while they last. I believe you get 2. And this is the time. Everybody plants around Mother's Day. So are you doing any planting, Johnny, when it comes to tomato plants anywhere or...
Actually, no.
Okay. And that's fine too. But I know my brother Gary and his wife Michelle are certainly into it, and they love these plants. They really come up and produce a lot.
Okay, if you'd like to text in, you're always welcome. Go to gostever.com for the Long Branch Steakhouse offer. You can text 217-359-2255. Nothing over the weekend on the Illinois portal front. Always kind of watching. We have 5 signed for Brad Underwood's basketball team, but we're expecting at least 3 more. And it's presumed one's going to be the 5, the big guy. And then somebody thinks we kind of need a backup guard now that Nico Moretti left. So who's going to dribble the basketball after Kylan Boswell from Arizona, who's now our point guard? I mean, it's just talking about buying a program. Maybe we should bring programs back. They don't have programs anymore. Right. I need a program. I don't know who's who. Anybody. I don't know how we'll look. Who's that?
Yeah.
Ty Rogers and Dre Gibbs Longhorn, the only 2 guys that were from the Elite 8 team. Everybody else is gone, graduated, done.
I wish you could get back out there, Steve. You could still jack a 3.
Heck yeah.
I don't know if you'd hit the rim.
But I know, but I could jack it.
There you go.
If you just show me shooting, I'd look like Steph.
I say that, Diane, but he made a basket against the Globetrotters.
I know.
Yeah.
And
I haven't done that.
The whole Globetrotters story. What was the Generals that the Globetrotters?
I played on the Generals, and they pulled my pants down.
Yeah,
I had a jock on.
That's like being adopted, Steve. It's like being adopted. Yeah. You're one of the team when you get your pants pulled
plus
down.
they were actually bullying me. I should have asked for a safe space.
You were offended, weren't you?
No, they bumped me against the locker.
Well, no wonder you were taking the shot.
And they were.
Or was it because you were taking the shot?
And they gave no. It was before.
Okay.
They were blocking. They were bumping me to the locker, and I wore number 0, and they were all 10 feet taller than me.
Oh wow!
And then they said, "That's how many points you're going to score. That's how many assists you're going to get. 0."
Man.
And then Curly Neal said, "Just don't come down the lane." So they were trying to bully me.
Intimidation. It's trash talk.
And then I got in there, and you normally get 2 minutes as a quote celebrity.
Yeah.
They gave me the ball every time I shot. And I think I made my basket on my 5th try.
All right.
The 4th try hit the side of the backboard.
Yeah.
It was bad. So I made my shot, and then I got to the huddle, and I looked up, and the Washington Generals 36. The Globetrotters 35 in the timeout.
Oh, wow.
And all these guys that are on the Generals are former kind of semi-pro players.
Sure.
They're good. They're tall. They're really good. And I got in the huddle. I said, "Come on, you guys. We'd be behind if it wasn't for me."
Uh-oh.
And the guy who's like 6'11" looked at Red, the famous coach of the Generals. He said, "Red, who is this guy?"
Right.
And then Red came to me at halftime and said, "I'm going to do something for you. You got to do something for me." I said, "What?" "I'm going to put you back in the game." I said, "Really?" Yeah, he said, what can I do for you, Coach? Pass the ball.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. And then at halftime, not the Meadowlark Lemon, the next guy, Geese Osby.
Right.
He came up to me and said, boy, you like to shoot that ball.
The worst thing was he was shooting threes because he's an expert, but there wasn't a three-point.
Right.
That's right. No, every time I touched it, I could shoot it. It just, only one went in, but I was thrilled, and I had that to and people were taking my picture. They thought it was part of the deal. They really did. All right, we got a break. Be right back. That's Johnny. Brother Johnny's in town this week. Diane Ducey's here.
Good morning.
I am Stevie J, and we'll be back with the news after this. ESPN 93.5 Word is now 8 o'clock. You're listening to WSJK, ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Former President Trump is about to return to court. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, and he may once again rant before going inside that he's being politically persecuted at his first criminal trial. Last week ended with former Trump advisor Hope Hicks in tears testifying about 2016 payments to keep alleged affairs quiet.
She said, quote, everything we talked about in the context of this time period and this time frame was about whether or not there was an impact on the campaign. But others say she helped the defense by saying that the former president did not want to hurt his family, especially his wife, Melania.
Fox's Eric Shawn outside the court in New York. The former president is charged with falsifying records and payments to Stormy Daniels. Israel is dropping leaflets in Rafah urging Palestinians to leave as it readies an operation in that area of Gaza considered Hamas's last stronghold.
Urging civilians there to evacuate. The Israeli military is describing this as a limited scope operation, saying so far this is only temporary and is not a sign of a major evacuation in that area as of yet. It's impacting 100,000 Palestinians who are right now being told by Israel through both flyers, phone calls, and texts to move to the Muwasi humanitarian zone, which is along the coast north of Rafah. All of this happening as ongoing negotiations between both Hamas and Israel appear to be collapsing.
Fox's Jeff Paul in Tel Aviv. There are still some anti-Israel campus on college campuses, and we're learning more about who is helping fund them.
Politico did an investigation. Part of it says President Joe Biden has been dogged for months by pro-Palestinian protesters calling him Genocide Joe. But some of the groups behind the demonstrations receive financial backing from philanthropists pushing hard for his re-election. The donors include some of the biggest names in Democratic circles: Gates, Soros, Rockefeller, and Pritzker.
Fox's Peter Ducey at the White House, and we're just learning Columbia University has canceled a campus-wide graduation ceremony for May 15th. America's listening to Fox News.
Think identity theft won't happen to you? Think again. There's a new victim every 3 seconds in the U.S., over 15 million this year alone, and many don't even know they're victims. LifeLock alerts you to identity threats you could miss even when you monitor your credit. If your identity's stolen, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft, but everyone can save up to 25% their first year with my name, Clay, as the promo code at LifeLock.com.
The elites want more control through digital currencies in a cashless society. This is Stephen K. Bannon, and I believe gold is the answer to safeguard your wealth, especially if you own your gold inside of a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting SHELTER to 989898. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust, so text SHELTER to the number 989898 to claim your free info kit today.
Message and data rates may apply.
As Russia keeps waging war in Ukraine, it's getting ready to do a nuclear drill involving so-called tactical nukes, weapons that do localized damage on a battlefield. Russia claims it's in response to provocative statements in the West. There is also concern about Iran's nuclear program. The head of the UN's atomic watchdog is visiting there today.
Rafael Grossi says Iran and his inspectors are drifting apart. Several experienced International Atomic Energy Agency staff have been barred from monitoring Tehran's nuclear program, and surveillance cameras have been tampered with. So Grossi's in Iran in an attempt to improve relations. Iran insists its nuclear program is entirely peaceful, but the IAEA reports the country has stockpiled hundreds of pounds of uranium enriched well beyond what's needed to generate power. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures have been rising ahead of today's trading after last week's gains. It's T-minus about 13 and a half hours for a Boeing launch that's a big deal for NASA, a private, planned, manned mission.
If all goes as planned, NASA U.S. astronauts Sonny Williams and Butch Wilmore will ride the Boeing Starliner space capsule to the International Space Station. Boeing is the second company behind Elon Musk's SpaceX to be contracting with NASA to provide rides for crews to and from the station. While SpaceX has been providing this service for some years already, Boeing's specially designed craft, the Starliner, has had a number of issues causing delays, but an uncrewed mission 2 years ago was a success. Starliner will launch atop an Atlas V rocket from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station at 10:34 p.m. Eastern. In Broward County, Florida, Eben Brown, Fox News.
In the NBA playoffs, Cleveland eliminated Orlando, while in the NHL, Dallas knocked out Vegas. Both of those were Game 7s. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. A group of fallen police officers in Illinois being remembered. Illinois Police Memorial took place over the weekend outside the state capitol to honor officers who died on the line of duty and support their families. There were a pair of 2024 honorees, including Chicago police officers Andres Vasquez and Irina Michaela Preston. Well, 217 Incorporated in Champaign reminding everyone to regularly check on their outdoor HVAC equipment. This after they say many people and business owners have had copper lines cut and stolen on South Neal Street in Champaign. The heating, air conditioning, and plumbing company wants everyone to keep their equipment safe. If a walk in the park catapults you into bouts of sneezing, eye rubbing, and coughing, you're not alone. Allergy season, which came early this year, in full swing, with most of the nation forecast to have medium to high pollen levels as we went through the weekend. According to IQVIA, it's the healthcare analytics and research company that runs pollen.com. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Well, our farmers are trying to get stuff going, Mr. Solier, but a little hampered, a little slow, but I think everybody's not panicking at this point, Johnny. Brother Johnny's here, too.
Hey, Greg, yeah, now a little dry weather. To get
Good
that
morning, brother.
Good morning.
Yeah, but you've had some rough stuff down your part of the world and back into southeastern Texas. There's some spots that down there have seen 8 times the normal amount of rainfall for the springtime season down your
but New
westward?
Orleans isn't quite that wet. It just kind of skips a little bit north, like over the lake. So it's just and all that rough weather's just I'm talking 20 miles, 30 miles, but it's just a little bit north. So we're okay down, holed up in the Big Easy.
Good. Glad to hear that. Yeah, this time last year, and more so into the late summertime season, there was so much drought. I think even the sugarcane and rice fields were blown out and burned out. Nothing to really irrigate them with properly. So it's been once again another example of from a drought to a flood, and this time into southeastern Texas. Around here, certainly paling in comparison. Just a little drabble of rain into parts of northern Champaign and parts of Vermilion County right now. A couple of showers down towards Charleston, Mattoon area, anywhere between 1/10 and as much as 3/4 of an inch of rain that came out of some of those thunderstorms yesterday. So get through this week. The weekend gets better. It's cool. It is a cooler, drier than milder to drier than warmer to drier weather pattern that takes us through the remainder of May and into early June from a fieldwork and long range standpoint. 58 at Willard and Savoy right now. Later on today should top out across the area at about 75. So not bad. Becoming partly sunny. Maybe a few drops of rain this morning and a stray shower this afternoon and evening time. Lows down to 60. Tomorrow, a warm front on the move with maybe a couple of thunderstorms in the morning. They'll take a break, come back towards evening time, close to 80 and increasing south wind. Those rains move out early tomorrow night, lows to the 50s, but clouding up, a little cooler upper loft, generates a shower or thunderstorm in the afternoon, Wednesday and Thursday. 78 on Wednesday will cool to the mid and upper 60s for Thursday and Friday, or dry for Friday. Good part of the weekend as well, with highs back up to near 70 on Sunday. And again, a drier weather pattern gets going for the weekend, and especially into next week too. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
A slap of the bat, high fives at the plate. They're all celebrated at Pia's Sports Bar and Grill after the game. Super beer specials, great drinks, big screen TVs, and fun food all await you at Pia's. Whether it be Pia's delicious wings, the big pork tenderloin, or Pia's famous Grand Slam or Slugger Burger, you'll find all your favorites available until 11 p.m. Chill out at Pia's in the beer garden and enjoy being served by a great staff. See you at Pia's, Springfield and Mattis, Champaign.
It is 8:09. Greg's Weather brought to you by Watts Copy Systems. They offer cost-efficient solutions for busy offices. If you want a free evaluation, call 217-352-0428 for Watts Copy Systems. Happy to welcome Jennifer Mulholland, an author, strategist, executive coach, co-owner of Plenty Consulting. Jennifer, how are you?
I'm great today. Thank you.
Nice to have you on, talking about moms and work. First of all, women multitask so much better than any other human I know. I think they're a huge asset, right?
Actually, I've always liked women better. No offense.
Tell me what the status of working women that are parents. I mean, how does that work in the workplace in 2024?
Oh my gosh, it's such a juggle, spinning plates, I would call it. Wearing multiple hats, and I think every one of us is trying to stay present and do our best, managing a lot that comes at us and that, that we bring to life and work. It feels like a lot of overwhelm, and it feels like a lot of challenge right now, I think, in today's world where information and multiple subjects are just filling the plates and the hearts and minds of every woman I know.
Well, we talked about cell phones and kids and things like that in the last hour. I mean, the cell phone is amazing how much you can get done, but the negative is it's 24/7. You're answering stuff all the time.
Yes, you have to have healthy, strong boundaries to know when you pick up your phone and know when you make yourself available and when you don't. That's for sure.
Well, you're expected to be available all the time now, aren't you?
You are. I'm on for my kids at night. I would say I turn off work as best I can to have some healthy boundaries, and if it's meant to be, it'll be there in the morning.
Yeah. Okay. What is it about Utah that you love?
Oh, I love the mountains and nature and the active outdoor lifestyle. It's what brought me there almost 30 years ago from the East Coast. So I love to ski, love to run on the mountain trails, and I love what nature gets to bring. And we incorporate that into our work with a lot of our executives and companies and nonprofits that come to kind of get out of the rat race and out of the boardroom and into nature to really unlock what's possible.
It's kind of therapy, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It is natural therapy.
You've got the juggle going on now, Jennifer, with one of your kids playing ball in Texas, and that's where you are right now?
I do. I hopped on a plane from Park City, Utah yesterday with my husband, and my son plays for San Diego State for college lacrosse, and we're here at the national championships, and first round is today at noon.
Wow, that's exciting. That's the sport where you have a ball in a net and you think, flip it, kind of, that's lacrosse.
Are you in Austin then, Jennifer?
I am in Austin, yes, and I played myself for University of Delaware long ago.
Oh, my.
So it's a sport that's dear to my heart.
Nice. Why you like all those national parks in Utah, you actually use them. That's awesome. That's really good. All right, what's the biggest challenge for a working woman today? What do you find when you consult?
I find that, well, two things. One is I think women and men, honestly, are just exhausted and overwhelmed with how much is coming at them, and they're tired. There's just a lot to coordinate, a lot to quarterback, a lot of decisions to make, and information is just coming at people, and at women in particular, at a really fast rate. I think people's attention are getting hijacked all the time. So the biggest practice is how do you stay present with what is right in front of you so that you can really bring your whole self, your wisdom, your attention, your awareness to what's right in front of you. And then when we do that, we can actually make decisions in a more calm, effective, and efficient way. So that's my biggest advice, is teaching people, like, how do you really get here in the moment? And so one of the easiest ways is to notice your surroundings, like bring your attention to the simplest things of, what noises do you hear? What's the air feel like? What chair are you sitting in, or what's the room feel like that you're standing in? And then paying attention to your body's cues. Like, do you feel open and do you want to lean into the conversation, or do you want to get the hell out of there? And is your body saying, like, okay, I'm distracted, I really don't want to be part of this any longer? So really trying to train and teach people to drop in and be present. And then when our attention gets hijacked, to just notice that and then bring ourselves back, or decide whether we want to follow that that hijacking, if you will, or that change of content or change of information.
What do you think COVID did to us?
I think it was a massive wake-up call as to what's important to people. It really did a big shift of not only just for people's health and relationships and closeness to family, but I think it really illuminated some deep questions of, what am I here to be? What am I here to do? Is this working for me? And when people kind of were forced home, a lot of different ways of working, I think, got illuminated, or, it just got brought to bear that we can do work and personal activities at once. And one of the things that I think is a construct that kind of got blown out of the water is that we live a personal life and a professional life. Like, those days are long over. And honestly, they never really were true. We're that common denominator, and I think COVID brought those two worlds together. When you're working at home and your kids are rolling into the room, and people are walking behind your Zoom call. I mean, just all those bloopers and blunders that happened in those early days when everybody was working from home. I think finding the integration of both is like where the juice is at, and where we're meant to play. We're meant to bring our whole selves to both places.
It seems to me that we might have, many people thought, man, I just need a little more space. So a lot of them are headed to Utah.
There we go.
Right. Oh my gosh, you're so right. They're all coming.
And that's why that mental health you get from just a little more room.
Right.
And living on top of each other is tough.
To me, Jennifer, I have trouble saying no to some of my volunteering options, and I feel like, if not me, who? Because nobody's volunteering anymore, I feel like.
Yeah, I think, one of the things we all have an opportunity to really get more clear about what's in alignment with what we care about. And volunteering, being of service, is so important. Like, the world needs our love and care. The actual definition of philanthropy is the love of humanity. And so when we choose to show up, to make sure that wherever we're choosing to show up is really in alignment with our light, with our passion, with our care, with our skills, and that we don't spread ourselves too thin, because then that can just lead to distraction and disruption, that we just really can't bring our full attention to wherever we are. But there's so many needs out there that need our strengths and our care and our passion, that it's prudent for us to get clear about what we care about and where we want to show up.
Jennifer, how can people find Jennifer Mulholland?
You can find me at plentyconsulting.com or leadingwithlightthebook.com, our new book that just came out in March.
Well, have fun in Austin. Hope your son hits...
No, it's lacrosse, right?
I mean lacrosse.
Right.
Hope he scores. They're called goals. I'm so ignorant.
Goal, yeah.
Hope he scores 10 goals this weekend.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Nice having you. Jennifer Mulholland, live from Austin this morning, ESPN 93.5. All right, going to break for the Fox Business Minute. Our Stever offer is Long Branch Steakhouse. It's available at GoStever.com. I'm buying steak for you. If you'd like it, it's free. GoStever.com, and you might win. Just go to GoStever.com. If you're not a member, you can join and
We've had a few texts in to Long Branch at 359-2255. Is that okay, too?
No.
Okay.
Go Stever. I'm not watching text on this one, so just go Stever.com. Just do it that way.
All righty.
And if you're not a member, you have to join.
Hey, Steve, we've never had lacrosse around here, to my knowledge. And it's a big sport.
I just don't know anything about it.
It's just...
You throw a ball from a net. You have a little catcher.
Catch it.
You catch it with a net.
called I don't even know the name of it because we didn't have it at Unity. So that's
right. We don't record. We just don't report on lacrosse. I don't think Illinois has any. Maybe a club team.
Club
I don't
team.
know.
Yeah,
maybe.
I would be surprised if they didn't have a club at least.
Weather. Meteorologist Greg Solier.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign-Urbana vicinity, and the seasonally showery weather pattern continues on for this week. Pattern shift begins over the weekend and into next week with cooler, drier, and several days worth of drier weather expected into next week to progress outdoor work and field work here for our ag friends. Maybe a few sprinkles around this morning and a stray shower this afternoon up to 75 and a partly sunny sky. Slim chance for a shower early and late night tonight too. Low down to 60. Better odds for showers, thunderstorms both tomorrow morning and again towards evening time. Highs of about 79 and a gusty southeast to south wind. Wednesday partly sunny, upper 70s and a shower thunderstorm chance both morning, more so for the afternoon. Then Thursday and into the weekend. Cooler on Thursday, 68 with a shower chance early and late, 66 on Friday, upper 60s and a few raindrops for the day on Saturday early and late. Back up to near 70 on Sunday. Much of next week is drier for outdoor work and field work. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Hormel Foods is voluntarily recalling 2 Planters products in 5 southeastern states over possible listeria concerns. That's a potentially fatal contamination. Affected are 4-ounce packages of Planters honey roasted peanuts with a best by date of April 11th next year, and 8.75-ounce cans of Planters Deluxe lightly salted mixed nuts with a best by date of April 5th, 2026. They were produced at Hormel facilities and shipped to Publix distribution warehouses in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, and North Carolina, and to Dollar Tree distribution warehouses in South Carolina and Georgia. Listeria monocytogenes can cause serious and sometimes fatal infections in young children, the elderly, and others who have weakened immune systems. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lillian Wu, invested in you.
Stay on top of the latest forecast with America's Weather Team in the palm of your hands.
Here's the latest from America's Weather Center.
It's Fox weather updates throughout your busy day, every day.
That heat's going to be out there for one more day.
Temperatures being 30 degrees above average.
Put the power of over 100 meteorologists and the worldwide resources of Fox in your hands with the Fox Weather Podcast. Precise, personal, powerful. Subscribe and listen now at foxnewspodcasts.com.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
PDR Automotive has now been serving the Champaign-Urbana area for over 50 years. To give you some perspective, 50 years ago ended the U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War, and it was when Secretariat won the Triple Crown. So what does that mean for you and your vehicle? Whether you need a carburetor overhauled or your new vehicle computer system diagnosed or programmed, PDR Automotive has the experienced, knowledgeable staff that can handle all your automotive needs. Online at pdrauto.com, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
Next week on an all-new Law and Order. Order! We convene here for case 217, Spring Green versus Weeds. Spring Green, the floor is yours. The weeds are infectious. The weeds steal the beauty from your lawn. We offer personalized lawn care, a mid-season checkup, and a simple and transparent process. Just click on to spring-green.com for a quote. Okay, Spring Green wins. Weeds, you're out. That's spring-green.com.
It's our friend Atah Nurikhan. How are you, Atah?
Hey, guys, I'm doing well. I just got a bit of coughing here. Sorry about that.
No worries. He's the Senior Vice President of Marketing. We're talking First Federal Savings Bank. We're having, it's Tomato Plant Day. You do it every year. Tell me why First Federal gives out tomato plants every year.
Yeah, thank you so much. Our 42nd year of doing this, and 42 years ago, our president and CEO, then, who is still our president and CEO, George Rouse, had this great idea to get people in and welcome spring, but get them into our facilities. At the time, they were all spread through Champaign-Urbana, and introduce us to the community and the community to us, and it's been such a successful promotion. We do it the first Monday in May every year, and it's so I'm looking out my window now, and we had people lining up at 7:30 for an 8 o'clock open, and it's been steady since. Yeah,
nice,
awesome. That's great. And tell me how many years ago that was again for George? It was
42.
42 years ago. Wow. I met George Rouse in 1988, so it's been almost since the beginning of that. All right, so we want people to come get a tomato plant. Where would they go?
Yeah, 1311 South Neal Street in Champaign, or 301 West Springfield in Urbana, and 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. or until our tomato plants run out. They're the super fantastic variety. They go fast, so I'd say get here early, and the sun's out, so you can put them in the ground and be done with it. Your tomato plants are in the ground, and you're done.
I popped into 356bank.com, and I see how, banking at your fingertips is something that you're talking about, and loan rates. Let's talk about the banking industry, Ata.
Sure, you bet. Well, we're just, we're a community bank, a local lender, and we're happy to work with anyone on any kind of loan, and our great loan officers are here in person, work with you from start to finish, and something we pride ourselves on.
Nice.
Well, you're doing a great job. Do you think you'll run out before 3 o'clock this afternoon?
We might. Yeah. We have the last several years. Yeah, I hope so. That means it's a successful promotion, and I hope so.
Well, I know it's a good tomato because I've had them before.
Is it the fantastic kind, super fantastic or something?
Exactly. Still the super fantastic. Yep.
Well, we want people to go by. One more time for the addresses.
1311 South Neal Street in Champaign and 301 West Springfield Avenue in Urbana.
Well, appreciate First Federal. Appreciate you, Atal. Thanks for jumping on.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Soon.
Have a great day.
You as well. Right. Free tomato plants.
Yeah. That's a long time giving out tomato plants.
42 years. The bank's been around since 1908. That's First Federal Savings Bank of Champaign, Urbana.
That was the last time the Cubs won a World Series before 2016.
Well, I got to tell you.
I had to bring that up.
Well, when you go back to when they started giving tomatoes, I probably know some people who threw some of those tomatoes. But they don't do that anymore, do they, Steve?
They don't. Not so much on tomatoes and egging.
That's good.
It was popular around Halloween.
Oh, boy.
That's what I'm talking
in Unit
about.
7.
In 1970s. That was a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to break for the news. Be back if you want to chime on the First National Bank text line, First Fisher National Bank.
I'll tell you, good tomatoes are just great.
No, they're just nothing like
BLT or something like that.
Tomatoes are fantastic.
So good.
Get a free tomato plant. It's First Federal. Again, all our guests appear on the Tapman's Towing phone line, ESPN 93.5, 827. The news will be coming up next. Another half hour to go, ESPN 93.5.
Illini fans, join us in Memorial Stadium as we honor 100 years of tradition with $100 football season tickets. Don't miss a moment this season and lock in your tickets for Homecoming, Dad's Day, and a special rededication of Memorial Stadium on October 19th against the University of Michigan. Experience more cherished moments in Memorial Stadium this season and get your $100 season tickets at fightingillini.com.
Better banking experiences start with local people and local decision making. Hi, this is Ryan Heiser, President and CEO of Fisher National Bank. We are a locally owned community bank that has served the area since 1955. Fisher National is rooted in the communities we serve. We pride ourselves on providing financial resources that match or better the mega banks. We are your friends and neighbors who are involved in your communities and take a vested interest in seeing our customers thrive and prosper. Offering a line of rewarding consumer-centric deposits, home mortgages, small business banking, and agricultural lending. There are no compromises banking local with Fisher National. Our convenient online and mobile tools are second to none. We'll work hard to meet your financial needs and earn your trust. Learn more about Fisher National at fishernational.com or stop by one of our branches. Our team looks forward to serving you.
Fisher National Bank. Exceptional communities, exceptional people. Member FDIC.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Kelsey Furniture in downtown Tuscola sells Tempur-Pedic beds. What's it like?
I'm going to tell you right now, Stevie, that thing is the best thing I've ever slept on in my life. My wife and I both have said we've never had better night's sleep. And the people at Kelsey's were fantastic. Brian is the guy that helped us. You know, as much as I did my research, he had a world of knowledge about beds themselves. Oh, man, it's like sleeping on a cloud, man.
Kelsey Furniture, downtown Tuscola.
At Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people with amazing service, great design advice, and unbeatable selection and the best prices in town. It's the perfect time to update your home with waterproof flooring, carpet, hardwood, tile, and more. Then complete your rooms by shopping our incredible selection of furniture and accessories. We also offer great financing options. Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people.
All right, the news now coming up, brought to you by Kurt Lenschow, State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, Kurt Lenschow and State Farm are there. It's 8:30 in ESPN 93.5.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. After nearly 3 weeks of pro-Palestinian protests on campus, the main commencement ceremony at Columbia University in New York is canceled. Palestinians in the eastern part of Rafah in Gaza are told to leave ahead of an Israeli military offensive.
It's being described by Israeli military officials as a limited scope operation. This involves roughly 100,000 Palestinians. They're being told through not only flyers, but calls and texts to move to the Mawasi humanitarian zone, which is along the coast north of Rafah.
Fox's Jeff Paul. Arriving at his criminal hush money trial in New York this morning, former President Trump is asked by a reporter if his former attorney, Michael Cohen, is a liar.
As you know, they've taken away my constitutional rights, so I'm not allowed to answer that question.
The gag order on the case says he may not publicly disparage potential witnesses. He's been fined $9,000 so far for 9 violations, with other potential violations under consideration by the judge. America's listening to Fox News.
Looking to build, buy, or refinance? You can partner with Busey. Their in-house mortgage expertise and participation in a wide range of programs means your home loan is tailored to your needs. With nearly 40 special mortgage programs, 40, Busey can help you find the one that fits your needs. Traditional financing options include fixed and adjustable rate mortgages, construction and lot loans, investment properties. Busey provides simplified home financing. Nearly 50 lending professionals who take the time to get to know you and your needs. Want to apply online at your own pace? Takes 20 minutes or less at BuseyMortgage.com. With free pre-qualifications, you can shop for your home knowing all your options. You can move quickly, and in this market, if you're buying a home, you're going to have to move quickly. Busey is also a name you can trust. Ready to take the next step? Partner with Busey for their resources, and turn your dream of home ownership into reality. And get it done today. Call 800-67-BUSEY and ask which special mortgage loan program is right for you. Visit BuseyMortgage.com.
Here's a look at local news. Well, 217 Incorporated in Champaign reminding everyone to regularly check on their outdoor HVAC equipment. This after they say many people and business owners have had copper lines cut and stolen on South Neal Street in Champaign. The heating, air conditioning, and plumbing company wants everyone to keep their equipment safe. If a walk in the park catapults you into bouts of sneezing, eye rubbing, and coughing, you're not alone. Allergy season, which came early this year, in full swing, with most of the nation forecast to have medium to high pollen levels as we went through the weekend. According to IQVIA, it's the healthcare analytics and research company that runs pollen.com. A group of fallen police officers in Illinois being remembered. Illinois Police Memorial took place over the weekend outside the state capitol to honor officers who died on the line of duty and support their families. There were a pair of 2024 honorees, including Chicago police officers Andres Vasquez and Irina Michaela Preston. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Bring on spring. Get the light and delicious Greek pizza, topped with premium mozzarella, feta, new sliced Kalamata olives, diced tomatoes, mild peppers, and red onions. It's the best Detroit-style pizza around with a crispy, crunchy, cheesy crust to the edge. Hurry in and enjoy a large Greek Detroit-style pizza for $16.99. Code word Greek. Jets. Better because it has to be.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Florida, Champaign-Urbana this Saturday, and the seasonally showery weather pattern continues on for this week. A pattern shift begins over the weekend and into next week with cooler, drier, and several days worth of drier weather expected into next week to progress outdoor work and field work here for our ag friends. Maybe a few sprinkles around this morning and a stray shower this afternoon up to 75 and a partly sunny sky. Some chance for a shower early and late night tonight too, low down to 60. Better odds for showers and thunderstorms both tomorrow morning and again towards evening time. Highs of about 79 and a gusty southeast to south wind. Wednesday partly sunny, upper 70s and a shower thunderstorm chance both morning, more so for the afternoon. Then Thursday and into the weekend. Cooler on Thursday, 68 with a shower chance early and late, 66 on Friday, upper 60s and a few raindrops for the day on Saturday early and late. Back up to near 70 on Sunday. Much of next week is drier for outdoor work and field work. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
All right, ESPN 93.5. I'm Stevie J. Brother Johnny's in town this week, and I induced to hear somebody on the Fisher National Bank text line suggested nobody would know what throwing tomatoes would be.
Right.
That's back in the era of we threw tomatoes at cars.
Right.
What were we doing?
And it was around Halloween, so a lot of the peak tomatoes had run through their season. You know,
they're a little rotten.
Right.
But didn't we take those from yards?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, there weren't the thing that you forget, there weren't the fences that we have now.
Right.
That's true.
You were basically able to pick. And we wouldn't take, I would just take a rotten tomato. Let's say theoretically if I ever did it. It wouldn't be a good one.
Right.
It would be one nobody would eat.
And then you'd throw it usually at a vehicle. And for me, I had 6 or 8 girls in the car.
And they toilet paper too.
Exactly.
Toilet paper.
And we were just driving around
and
and
it could
seeing
have
other
caused
people.
an accident. Most people were aware that there was a danger of getting hit, but still, it was pretty inconsiderate. That was inconsiderate.
I think the 70s also, if you're too young to know about the 1970s, there were essentially 3 TV channels. We were watching Charlie's Angels, All in the Family, and MASH.
Chips.
Well, what about
Happy Days?
She just mentioned she had 8 people in her Nova because you could lay across the back window. That was a seat.
That's right.
And the four spots in the front were fine.
I just love that car, the Beast we used to call it. And I would do donuts, and I was just a fun chapter of life. We played cat and mouse back in the day too, where you would hide and then you would meet like at Monocle's parking lot. Everybody would meet and you'd have one person searching for other cars. It's kind of like tag or something.
We did that on foot across the whole town called Ditch'em.
Okay.
But again, the non-fence environment allowed for just a free run through, diagonally
running
through
all
town.
over the neighborhood.
Well, we used to play at all the basketball hoops without permission.
Exactly.
People have them in the driveway just play.
That's right.
They were there for us.
Yeah, but they for us.
And the same with the dogs. I mean, we used to have 6 or 8 dogs on our porch because we had water on our porch
and
at all
you really
times.
did know most of the people.
You did.
No, you did. Everybody knew everybody. But some of the 1970s things, I was at Polly Anderson's house, 1974, and she had this machine, and it was heating up old pizza. And she said it's called a microwave. I had no idea. I'd never seen it in my life. I said, this tastes fine. What's it called? It's called a microwave. We didn't. I mean, all the phones are hooked to the wall.
Oh, sure.
And the big deal was to get a long cord so you could get privacy and go in another room.
In fact, Mary Jean used to take her calls out on the porch and really stretched out the cord.
Johnny always used to undo it and untangle it all.
How did we make it?
I don't know. And then you pick up and somebody would be talking and you'd say, they'd say, get off the line. And you'd say, I need to make a call.
Well, I used to do that, calling Bobby, and it wasn't one of the people in our houses. It was on the party line out in the country.
Line.
And you'd have to say, Mrs. Smith, could you hang up?
Right.
We're only talking 45, 50 years ago. And we've all lived that, and we remember that. But it was
50,
different.
50, 55. But anyway.
I mean, 1974 was 50 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was out of high school.
I mean, Mary Diane, your sister's coming back hopefully in mid-June for her reunion.
50th.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And my sister Linda hopes to come and be a part of that
Those
too.
are great. Yeah.
Just so fun to reminisce about some of our
anybody know
teenage years.
Speaking of not knowing what you're talking about, anybody know what a leisure suit is?
Right.
I think it's polyester.
It was, but you had an open collar.
Mm-hmm.
And then we all had these, the men had high heels.
The platform shoes.
Platform shoes. So I was, with my hair.
Where do you get those, by the way? Never kidding.
Well, they're somewhere in garage sale.
That's
No,
right.
but I mean, with my afro, I was 6'4".
Yeah.
And I'm normally like 5'8" or 9.
Just when the person, has
High
you come
heels and
over
the
for
hair.
hanging out in the living room, then you take off the shoes and they're
You're
like, wow.
itty bitty. Yeah.
Exactly.
My mom told me that Champaign County is recycling televisions.
Okay.
So you can barely, in Illinois, there's no legal way to get rid of a TV
Because
anymore.
of the tubes that you had in those old-fashioned TVs.
So, Johnny, all we have to do is figure out how to recycle televisions. Will make a fortune.
Well, you got to get somebody big enough to carry one
because
that's what I can't believe, how big those things
Well,
were.
I mean, but the new ones, if you want to get around, those are thin like picture frame. We remember the Ditkas. We went to Mike's house in Chicago, and it looked like a picture on the wall, and that was the TV. I couldn't believe it. That was one of the first ones.
That's a cool idea.
Champaign County Recycle TVs at May 18.
Okay.
They'll take televisions and other electronics, but you call for an appointment.
Right.
403-4780, 217 Parkland. You have to make an appointment now, 217-403-4780.
And it's essentially an online search away to find out those details. But thanks, Margaret, for that public service
Doing
announcement.
some producing for me.
Yeah.
Well, and people have TVs and they just don't know what to do with them.
Right.
If I said I'll pick your TV up for $75, people would pay me. But then I don't know what I do with it.
Right.
Can't you go to the desert and just park old airplanes?
Yeah.
Can't you do that?
Put them under their planes.
Boom.
I actually invited Margaret to the Swan Lake because it's all this Tchaikovsky music, and it was at the Virginia CU Ballet. Did a wonderful job with that Friday night and Saturday afternoon. But she was busy because she had her salad supper with all these musicians from back in the day.
Yeah, how many years?
I think it's 60-something years
of lunch.
She's been in it. She's been in it over that. She's been in it longer than that.
That's amazing.
So it's gone 100 and something years.
Yeah, the MUFI is a sorority for
musicians
until men got involved, and now men are part of it too.
Yeah.
Couldn't get your own fraternity, huh? Anyway, so I went over there. Had 6 of them.
Sometimes the girls like to get together by
For
themselves.
sure. And I thought it was a cool concept to have a salad supper where you're all just bringing in different items for a salad and making that
Actually,
happen.
I need to refrain. You know what they do is they they do bring a dish, but they all bring their own silverware, which is even better.
Oh, cool.
So you don't ever have to wash anything. That's
Bring
brilliant.
your own salad bowl and
everything.
fork.
Why?
All good.
Why? I never even thought of that, because otherwise you have to have 100,000 plates. You just bring your own plate and fork. Takes out a lot of
If you only
issues.
would have known this a couple of weeks ago when you had the big shower
Yeah.
for Riley and Christian.
Yeah, everybody bring your own plate.
Your own.
Doesn't match, but whatever. No, that wouldn't have worked. All right, we're going to get one more sports and weather here before we let you go. 217-359-2255. You want to text us something? Feel free.
That's right.
Back in just a moment. It's ESPN 93.5.
Tapman's Towing reminds all Illini fans, when you're on the road and see lights flashing, move over and use caution passing. Let's all get home safe tonight.
You've set your financial goals. One kid plans to go Big Ten, the other Ivy. Your bucket list includes seaside sunrises and sunsets on the slopes, or perhaps a second home away from it all. Busey Bank can help develop the right investment strategy to take charge of the years ahead. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
It seems like the cost of everything is on the rise. But Erie Insurance can help make sure your auto insurance premium isn't one of them. Avoid rate increases with Erie Rate Lock. Even if you have a claim, your rates won't go up until you change a car, driver, or address.
Your Erie agent in Champaign is Thomas & Ellers Insurance.
Erie Rate Lock is not available in all states. Other conditions and limitations at erieinsurance.com. Go to erieinsurance.com for company licensure and product details.
When it comes to finding a reliable vehicle, look no further than Sarah Champagne, your trusted automotive destination. They carry a lineup of top brands including Honda, BMW, Subaru, GMC, and Buick. And they're not just about cars, they're about people. Their team is dedicated to providing you with trustworthy service and dependable vehicles that fit your lifestyle. Experience the difference at Sarah Champagne. Visit Sarah, S-E-R-R-A, champagne.com.
At Pards in Urbana, the boots just keep on coming. They're known for their huge collection of men's cowboy boots, women's cowgirl boots, kids' boots, and even shoes. If you're searching for top footwear brands, look no further than Pards. They carry a wide variety, including Ariat, Dan Post, Smoky Mountain, Roper, Double H, and more. And if socks or accessories are what you need, they've got all your high-quality essentials. Since 1968, Pards has been serving their customers with high-quality merchandise. And if you haven't been to Pards in a while, a lot has changed. Go check them out just off University Avenue in Urbana.
Escape the ordinary and embark on an unforgettable adventure with Stevie Jay Travel with Larry and Elena Kemper. Hi, it's Stevie Jay. Picture yourself aboard a small yacht departing from the enchanting city of Dubrovnik, Croatia. As the gentle breeze carries the scent of the Adriatic Sea, you'll set sail toward the captivating Dalmatian Islands. Over 10 magnificent days, immerse yourself in the Mediterranean lifestyle where every moment is a celebration of beauty and tranquility. Explore hidden coves, swim in crystal clear waters, and stroll through seaside villages. With Stevie Jay Travel, every detail is taken care of, from luxurious accommodations to delectable onboard dining experiences. Relax on deck as the sun dips below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink. This is more than a cruise. It's a journey of discovery and delight. Escape to paradise with Stevie Jay Travel. Visit StevieJayTravel.com. That's StevieJayTravel.com for details. Your Mediterranean adventure awaits. The sounds of spring and the smell of flowers in the air, they all add up to Spring Green, America's neighborhood lawn care team. They become your favorite through quality service and professionalism. Spring Green will service and maintain your lawnscape with seeding, aeration, fertilizing, disease, and insect control. Over 40 years of satisfied customers reflect their commitment to Champaign-Urbana and the Mattoon-Charleston area. Call Spring Green at 217-359-2111 or online at spring-green.com. Check your morning sports, ESPN 93.5. It is 8:46.
Chicago White Sox over the St. Louis Cardinals 5-1 yesterday. The White Sox will be in Tampa Bay with a 5:50 start. Our St. Louis Cardinals, heard here on ESPN 93.5, have a game series starting up against the New York Mets with Kyle Gibson on the mound for the Cardinals. That'll be a 6:45 start here on ESPN 93.5. Cubs over Milwaukee 5-0. They've got a game from Wrigley against San Diego. That's a 6:40 start. Illinois over Ohio State. They ended up taking 2-1 in that series, 28-16 on the season. And they keep going back and forth with Purdue on who's number one in the Big Ten.
I have us ahead in this morning's standings.
Okay, great.
That's what I looked at anyway.
Wrapping up the regular season this weekend against Iowa, whereas the softball team was beat by Iowa 6-5 yesterday, and Iowa took the series 2-1. But they'll be gearing up for the Big Ten tournament, which is in Iowa, and their first game on Thursday against Minnesota. So go Illini. And speaking of the Big Ten, our golfer of the year, Jackson Buchanan, Mike Small's team's doing real well.
Well, interestingly, Mike is not settled on who's going to, kind of be part of this push for the national championship. I heard him talking, and he's not settled. I mean, they're still competing for a spot. Normally this time of year, you've got your 5. And Illinois, for the first time in 9 years, did not win the Big Ten tournament. They got second. So people are walking around asking Mike Small, what happened? Yeah. I mean, it's just unbelievable. But the expectations are so high. This is, ironically, this could probably be the year they'd win it, right? When you're not sure who's going, my guys, we're not playing as... We'll see. Right. They got to go to Stanford, and everybody out there in that region is pretty good.
Yeah, that expectation thing. Remember the story about John Wooden? He won 10 out of 11 national championships. He won 7
10 out of 11.
Lost the 8th one, but then won 9, 10, 11. And on the 9th one, a supporter came over. You did it, hugged him. You did it. You let us down last year, but you did it.
Right. I don't know what it is about the negativity that sticks with
because you want it and you're expecting it. It's like the Cardinal fans right now. It's it's falling apart, and we've not had that.
No.
They always win. It's like the Yankees always win.
From that standpoint, the Cubs fans are much stronger.
There you go.
They've had to put up with more.
Lots
more.
How about, did you happen to catch the Kentucky Derby, John?
Oh, unbelievable.
Why a nose,
Three.
If you talk about a nose,
Mystic Dan.
and it was just one more, foot.
I know.
And the bob noses would have made a difference.
I know the way they were bobbing their heads.
That's right.
Yeah.
The one Mystic Dan bobbed at the right time.
Mystic Dan, Sierra Leone.
No,
and
Lincoln's
Forever
watching
Young.
it with me, and he goes, I want that one. Number 17. I said, why? Because I just love green.
Okay.
Before the race started.
And was that Mystic Dan?
Yes, it was.
I'll be darned.
Yes.
How about that, Lincoln?
I love that.
Horse picker. 849.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
This is Eric Bowen with Provident Financial Group. We are honored to be celebrating 15 years of service and want to thank all of our amazing clients for their confidence and trust. We look forward to meeting the needs of current and future clients in the years to come. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
You've changed thousands of diapers, played hours of peekaboo and duck duck goose because you do anything for your kids. That's why it's so important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow will help make it easy and affordable to help you protect your family no matter what the future holds. Because for the people you do anything for, life insurance could mean everything. Call State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow in Champaign-Urbana today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Want unbeatable prices on your next furniture purchase, but also seeking that local hometown feel? Look no further than Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola. Customers rave about their friendly, established staff, as well as their great selection, amazing prices, and second-to-none delivery service. They're a third-generation local business, and they've always got your best interests at heart. Find the look you love for less. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, but always available online at kelseyfurniture.com. That's kelseyfurniture.com.
Illini fans, join us in Memorial Stadium as we honor 100 years of tradition with $100 football season tickets. Don't miss a moment this season and lock in your tickets for Homecoming, Dad's Day, and a special rededication of Memorial Stadium on October 19th against the University of Michigan. Experience more cherished moments in Memorial Stadium this season and get your $100 season tickets at fightingillini.com.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana vicinity. Well, coming off some of those scattered showers and thunderstorms and a couple of downpours in spots during late Saturday afternoon and evening time. Fairly quiet day's worth of weather yesterday. Weak system down across the Ohio, generating a few spits and sprinkles of rain for the day-to-day. Northbound warm front, another dynamic feature out of the plains, will ramp up the severe weather potential the next 24 to 36 hours and generate more rainfall as well. But a summery feel expected heading to and through the middle part of the week. Up to 75 today, becoming partly sunny, an isolated sprinkle or two around this morning and a stray shower later this afternoon. Around this evening, maybe a shower, and after midnight, slightly better odds and a low down to 60. Tomorrow, breezy, warmer, variably cloudy skies, showers, thunderstorms in the morning, and late in the day, highs nearing 80, and a gusty southeast wind will bottom out in the mid-50s tomorrow night. Partly sunny skies and a bit cooler weather with upper 70s on Wednesday. Again, a shower, thunderstorm chance both early and again later in the day. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Meteorologist Greg Solier.
As Tapman's Towing celebrates 50 years of serving Central Illinois, we're always seeking good people to serve our great customers. Our team of expert tow professionals would like to interview others with CDLs, previous tow experience, or a strong interest in serving others. If you enjoy serving people, love working in the outdoors, and looking for a career, not just a job, we should talk soon. Do you have a strong desire but lack the experience? We should still talk. Visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
Okay, glad you were listening this morning. The boys this afternoon on the drive. We've got Lonte Derek Piper with Kyle Tosk. That starts after 3 o'clock today, very latest on the portal. We're going to hear something about Brad Underwood's team, I would presume, sooner than later, because we're getting these rankings of who had the best portal, and we've been consistently in the top 10 early. Indiana's like number one.
Right.
Indiana got a lot of guys.
They got our Luke Goody.
Well,
who's coaching Indiana?
Mike Woodson, former
Okay.
Bobby Knight guy.
Yeah.
And he didn't have a very good year. They finished well, playing well at the end, but Indiana has the most NIL money. What? Most basketball NILs, Indiana.
That's a little random because it's all about who focuses on what, and if the right guys like athletics, there's your money.
If we change our name to the Fighting Shad Khans, would that help me?
Shad's got a organization of his own, and he's doing a good job with that.
Yeah,
exactly.
And he helps. He's been great for
I
Illinois.
know.
Absolutely.
No question. But we got a lot of rich alums out there. Come on.
Oh, man. What about Packard? Come on, Hewlett Packard.
Yeah, really? That's yeah. Well, we have the YouTube guy.
Right.
We have a lot of
And
inventors.
I think
PayPal guy. I mean, come on, man.
The
Step up.
Hefner estate.
Well, step up. We could have the best fencing team. We could have everything. Come on. All right, Johnny, we'll see you maybe tomorrow.
All right.
Appreciate
you. Always great to see ya.
Brother Johnny, here's Diane Ducey.
Hear the show anytime, StevieJay.com.
Hey, thank you for listening. I'm Stevie J. Have a great Monday.
If you're in the market for a new car battery, you could go to one of those big box stores, except there's no guarantee you'll be served by an actual car expert.
Clean up in aisle 3.
You could pick a battery off the shelf, except it might be close to expiring. Or you could just come into Interstate. Don't make a big box store blunder. With competitive prices and a more personal, reliable approach, Interstate Batteries is the clear-cut choice if you want to guarantee yourself a new and trustworthy car battery. They're open and ready to serve you at 2504 North Mattis Avenue in Champaign. You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
What is most important to you in your life? This is Eric Boland with Provident Financial Group. Whether you're launching a career, raising a family, planning for retirement, or creating a legacy, we can help. At Provident, we provide strategic thinking and perspective that help clients like you realize their goals. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Hey, where are you headed?
To Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola.
What do they have there?
What don't they have there? Living room furniture, benches, chests, love seats, sectionals, tables, bedroom sets, hutches, nightstands, end tables, cabinets, mirrors, stools, clocks, lamps, pillows, rugs, desks, media consoles, patio furniture, Tempur-Pedic mattresses, and more.
So, everything.
Yeah, probably could have just said that.
Kelsey Furniture, quality for less.
Hi, it's Wes from Lands Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Our mission at Lands is to provide top-tier service, prioritize our customers with upfront pricing, and maintain exceptional communication. We assure you at Lands we will only recommend what you truly need, from regular maintenance on your home's mechanical systems with the Lands Comfort family to replacement of existing equipment. Right now, Lands is offering up to $1,500 off qualifying Trane heating and cooling systems, and combining it with utility companies' rebates and potential tax credits, now would be a great time to consider updating your HVAC system. Visit us at landsinc.com.